What is up, everybody? Jarrett from Empire of Assets here, and today we are revisiting some of the UFC cards in the market. We will be talking about Francis Ngannou, Sean O'Malley. These two fought this weekend and were both victorious. So let's jump right into UFC cards that I like in the market right now, some current prices, and what I am watching. So right off the bat, the biggest fight of this weekend, the title fight, was Stipe Miocic, which I did look up how to pronounce that before this video, so you don't have to deal with me saying Stipe or anything anymore. It is Stipe. Stipe versus Francis Ngannou. Ngannou won with a knockout in the second round, and his cards basically doubled overnight. This was a really big fight for Ngannou. Basically, it was kind of his make or break. If he could not beat the champion, then when Stipe retired, he would probably have been the champion, but it would be sort of an interim fake champion because he couldn't beat the champion. Now he has proved himself. He had a really good defense of a shot. He had a nice sprawl. He really improved a lot from his last fight with the champion, and he came away with a victory. He is now the champion, and from what I've seen, everybody says he can probably destroy everybody else in the division. Also, a small disclaimer, I am not a huge UFC buff. I just enjoy the card market. I listen to Joe Rogan a little bit, so I have a little bit of information there. And I did wrestle, so I enjoy that part of the UFC. I do enjoy the UFC. I just am not an avid follower or fan. I don't even watch most of the fights. But I do think that you don't have to be super involved to at least have a pretty good feel for the card market, see who's up and coming, who will probably do pretty well, and what are good cards to buy. So back to the fight. Ngannou won, proved himself, is now the champion, can probably beat everybody else in the division. There is rumors he could be the next great heavyweight of all time, and his cards doubled from a base. I'm talking about the 2017 Topps Chrome rookie. I will throw one of those up over here. This was the card that I probably prefer the most. It does not have the little rookie card octagon logo, which I do think detracts from the value of the card a little bit. That you have to get the museum card, which I will throw up right here. That does have the little logo. But I do like the Topps Chrome. It's probably the biggest brand in the UFC for sure. And before, Panini and Prism was the biggest brand probably just about ever. So I do like that card. The base of that card jumped from about $60 to $80 up to now it's hard to touch them for $120 or about. And then obviously all of the refractors, the colored parallels, all of that stuff jumped a lot. So it was a high risk. In my payday video, I did say this was a high risk, high reward. If you took the bet, it paid off. You were rewarded nicely. If you're thinking about buying, I would not buy right now. The UFC is a long game. It can be over years between fights for fighters. Obviously, Ngannou will probably defend the title sooner than that, but it could be at least a year. The market will cool off a lot in that next year. I don't see tons of money suddenly flowing into the UFC card market, so I would wait and not buy at what is probably the peak, at least until he fights again. So I'm going to be watching those cards for sure, but I am not going to be buying. I will definitely wait a couple months. Some other fighters I want to talk about that I'm looking at. Sean O'Malley fought. He had a submission, I believe, or a knockout. Either way, he won. He is now 13-1, I believe. He claims to be 13-0. I don't know what happened with the fight that he lost. If it was a decision and he doesn't agree with the decision, not sure. 13-1. I think he's doing well. Again, I don't know a lot about it. I don't know a lot about him. But somebody to be looking at. His cards are, you can get a nice refractor, a silver parallel, I guess, of a Topps Chrome card. That is going to be the 2018. We are talking about the 2018 Sean O'Malley Topps Chrome refractor for about $100, which is a pretty good entry point if you think he does have a nice future, or just a good way to diversify if you are in the UFC cards. And then the last guy I want to talk about, I'm going to butcher his name, but it looks like Islam Makhachev. I am not sure how to pronounce that. He is fighting out of Dagestan, similar to Khabib. Khabib has endorsed him. They're on the same team. I believe he's undefeated or only has a few losses, and everybody kind of thinks he will be the next champion in the lightweight division. I definitely think this is a good buy. Obviously, they probably don't have as much of a following as somebody like Sean O'Malley, who I believe is Irish, or Conor McGregor. They have a huge following. Obviously, people from Dagestan probably aren't buying a lot of trading cards, at least at this point. But I do think, obviously, he comes from the best fighting region in the world that has the best fighter of all time in Khabib. I think he will continue to do very well. He gets compared to Khabib a lot, obviously, because of their similarities. So definitely somebody I am looking at as well. His cards are also fairly expensive, right around that $100 range, but maybe you can pick them up a little cheaper than that. Something to be looking at before his next fight. That's all I have for you guys. If you have any other UFC cards that you want me to cover or that you guys are looking at, I would love to hear about them. I just wanted to throw this video together for you after the fight this weekend and tell you that I would not be buying Ngannou cards right now, even though it looks like he will be the heavyweight champion for the future next couple years anyways. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Consider subscribing if you want more content like this, and I will catch you on the next video.